I know.
And we only have so much time. I got a lot of water though. Stay
Yeah,
hydrated.
dude. I got some water too. It's a great introduction right there, dude.
Oh, ASMR, drinking water.
What are our topics? We need like 2 or 3 topics though when we introduce this episode. What should our topics be?
You want to introduce? You want to put topics into the introductions?
I thought we've done that in the past, right? Like we're always like, hey, we're gonna discuss random stuff. We're
Yeah,
getting into Thanksgiving stories and Black Friday stuff and
yeah,
deals. We don't have to. We can just freestyle it.
yeah. This is
We can
like
do it
the
afterwards. Fuck it.
yeah cause I come up with the titles after the
No,
podcast
that's
is
good. That's
over.
good. It's like when you write your sentences and like your paragraphs for school, your papers.
Yeah.
You write like the body first, then you come up with like the intro and the conclusion sometimes.
With a
Cool.
podcast, since it's more freestyle, then yeah, I feel like it's the content that makes up the title. But then for a school report, it's the teacher asking for a particular title or something, like a topic, and then you
Mm,
cater towards that topic.
that's
So it's
true.
kind of like
But
the
I do
reverse.
think you can pick like the title at the very end, like after you write stuff or you pick your
Yeah,
topic. Yeah.
yeah. But we do have some things in mind.
Okay. Hey, do you wanna hit us off with the intro, dude?
Yeah, I'll kick
How
it
do we usually
off.
do it?
Hey everyone, welcome to
Hey,
Water in Time, episode 3. I'm your
episode
host,
3.
Alan. Co-host, Alan.
Yeah, I'm your other host, Will. How's it
Yeah,
going?
that's doing fine. It's
Yeah,
a
how's your
slow
week,
Monday.
Alan?
It's a slow
Slow
Monday,
Monday.
dude.
Yeah.
I didn't get too much good sleep last night. Slept at 2 a.m. and then woke up at I think like 7 in the morning, so only like 5, 6 hours of sleep.
Yeah, you're an early riser, I feel like.
Yeah, I try to be.
What's keeping you up so late?
Well, I
2 a.m.
took
is
a
pretty
nap
late.
yesterday. So I took a nap at
Dude,
like
naps can fuck you
yeah,
up with your sleep
3
schedule.
p.m. and then pretty much I was very tired yesterday. I went on
Mm.
on a run and then I went to the gym and then the gym
Oh,
lasted
nice.
longer than usual. So it was like a 2 hour workout, pretty much. So I
Hell
was just
yeah.
super tired by the afternoon, and then just like I guess my body felt like it needed to take a nap.
So
So
you crash at 3 p.m.
yeah,
You get inside the covers. What's your nap usually like? You just on your bed, you in your chair. Where's
yeah,
it
it's on.
happening?
Yeah, it's usually on the bed, and then something's playing in the background, like a video. Like yesterday, I was watching some Rivals gameplay just in the background, and
Mm-hmm.
then I just put an alarm for 40 minutes because I wanted to limit it to 40 minutes. So then the alarm went off 40 minutes later, and
You
then
hit
I
that snooze button,
and
right?
then, and then yeah, I kind of
We
slept for
all
an
do, buddy.
additional
We all
10 minutes,
do.
man.
Oh wait,
So
initial 10. I thought you were gonna be like I was out for 2 more hours.
no, that would
Wow,
be
you kept your nap at
brutal.
40, 50 minutes?
Yeah.
Dude, you're a warrior. No, I can't. If I go down for a nap, I'll tell myself it's like, all right, half an hour, 40 minutes. I'm out for like 3 hours. And then my whole sleep schedule is fucked.
Yeah. Well, how
So
long
I
does
just
it take for
can't
you
be
to
napping.
recover?
From the nap, it just depends. Usually when like your sleep schedule's like that, one night I just don't go to bed for a while. I wake up early and I try and stay up and get me back on a good cycle.
Yeah.
But no, that can really mess you up. No,
Yeah.
I'm just bad at napping. Like I don't have the self control to get up after 45 minutes. Like I'm in bed because I'm also always I can't fall asleep to anything like that, like watching something or listening to content. So whenever I go for a nap, I like usually I try actually like even shower beforehand. I'll get into the covers
Yeah.
and then it's over. Like, cause you're in there, it's nice and cozy. You wake up, it's like, oh, I have nothing to go do.
Oh, the best
That's the thing.
feeling.
If I have nothing to go do, it's like, why would I get up?
Yeah.
And I have a weighted blanket, so I'll stay in for a while.
Well, I wanted to not have anything to
Yeah,
do the rest of the day yesterday, but there was
hell
like
yeah.
the small friends party thing at like
Oh, that's
5,
cool.
so I wanted to get there by 5:30 ish. It's funny.
Damn.
We played this game, this board game where
Hmm.
uh, I forget the name, but it's the one I'll put up a picture on the screen and maybe put it in the
Sure,
title,
sure.
but it's the game where you have like a spectrum of like a certain topic. So for example, something
Oh,
that's like
hmm,
too cold or too hot or like unsexy animal all the way to sexy
yeah.
animal.
You have a dial, right?
Yeah, there's that
With a
dial.
midpoint. It has a midpoint, and the game is where you can change it.
Yeah, and then you like choose what it is, and then the other team they're supposed to try to guess where it is, or your team is supposed to guess where you
Yeah,
put
your
it.
teammate does it, right? It's like a partner-based game.
Yeah, and you can't say anything after you give the hint. So,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
then the other team they can like say whether it's closer to the left side or the right side after your team guesses. So that's pretty
Oh,
cool.
yeah, and that's how you get points.
Yeah,
When I
and
played it though, there was no hint involved, but you gotta give a little hint, huh?
well, yeah, because and it can't be too obvious of a hint. So one of them that's related to napping was that we did one
Mhm.
scale where it was underrated all the way to overrated. And then
Yeah,
so the person choosing said napping. And so
yeah.
just that was the hint, napping. And
That's
so
yeah,
like
so it's not like you're just guiding the game. It's not like you're not
yeah,
helping them get the answer. You're
yeah.
just giving a topic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so we're
yeah.
just
It's
trying
a
to
fun
figure out,
game.
yeah, what does this person think about napping? And then so
Yeah.
someone on our team, it was his wife that made that choice for the napping,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
her husband was on our team, and he just like knew the answer right
Ah.
away. He was like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
she like takes a nap every day. So
Yeah.
he
That's why
just
you gotta separate people like
yeah.
that when they're too close. Those games are too easy.
Yeah, so like lo and behold, when she revealed it, it was literally like underrated, like fully underrated. So she was like,
Yeah.
yeah, she takes naps every day because she thinks it's actually very healthy. Uh,
I
and
mean, there are a lot of cultures who do it, dude. You think of like, especially by the equator when it's so hot outside. You
yeah,
get up early, you do a little work, you go home, you sleep at the during like the heat of the day, and then you come back out. Like it's called a siesta, right? In
mm,
Spain, the
mm.
siesta. That's like a pretty normal thing for some cultures. I imagine it's kind of fading away as like we globalize and stuff, right? But and like more work is in an air conditioned office.
What do you
I
think?
think that's where it
Naps
comes
are
from.
overrated or underrated, or
Oh, dude, I fucking love naps. I just can't like I'm just not a good performer. I love the idea, but I
what?
can't perform when it comes
You
to
can't
naps.
perform a nap?
I can't perform, dude.
What does
No,
that
because I get
even
in there, I'm out
mean?
for 3 hours.
Oh,
I
okay,
think if I
so
had like if I was able to go for 45 minutes, I'd be doing it pretty
okay, so you're
often.
saying like a nap ideally is like 45 minutes an hour
I
or
think that's like
something,
the
yeah,
healthy way to
not
do it so it doesn't mess your
not a
schedule
couple.
up. I think like 30 for
Yeah.
45 minutes. I think that's where it's healthy too. Like you get up earlier, you get some work done, you take that I mean the afternoon nap, right?
Yeah.
And then you go on with the rest of your day.
Yeah, which should be like
I
an
think it's pretty
hour at
cool.
most. I think if you're
Yeah.
napping for 2 to 3 hours, it's something's wrong. Like either you're not getting
Oh,
enough
it's just
sleep.
you're in a cozy bed, dog. I have nice ass sheets. I got my weighted blanket. Like it's just once I'm in, I'm in.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
like to
okay.
sleep a lot. Yeah.
I
But yeah,
see, I
man.
see. All right.
That's cool though. So you got a little nap Sunday, little board games. That's
Yeah,
fun.
but that's why I'm a little tired today. So it was a fun day,
I
but I'm
mean,
a little tired. Slow
you
Monday.
mentioned this slow Monday.
Yeah.
You mentioned this before, but like after the last podcast, you were asking me if I was tired, and this is one of the topics I wanted to
Mm.
discuss of the first couple episodes because I
Yeah.
watched them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's the most awkward thing to watch yourself talk and like interact with somebody and just what you're doing with your body the whole time.
Yeah, even now
Um,
I'm like I can
exactly,
see
right? Like
like
you're paying
the
attention to
cam and
yourself a
I'm like,
little
oh
bit.
gosh, I'm
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
tilting back and forth a lot. Is that
I'm trying to get more hand motions in there, trying to focus
yeah.
on you well, but I noticed I kept touching my face. Just like, or I'd be like this, like, A lot of the time when I was watching
Huh?
it, I was constantly doing
Interesting.
that. And so my one of my goals now is to try and sit more upright, not to lean over, to be more upright,
Oh,
and also
posture.
not touch my face. Yeah,
Posture.
posture. I just noticed I'd always have my hand on my head. Like, I mean, that's a little scary, dude. Did you pull up in a meeting like that? Hell yeah. Imagine like you have to give you're getting an interview for a job and
Yeah.
you log into the meeting.
Yeah, dude, every time I give
Hello,
an interview, dude, every time I give an
how are
interview
you?
at,
Yeah,
at my
yeah.
work, like when we turn on the cam when the introvert viewee comes on, it's always like just like it's like they're sitting outside like in a conference room just like waiting for their turn to be called. There's like I'm
Serious,
ready.
right?
I'm just like, yo, what's up, man?
Yeah, you're trying to be all chill.
Yeah, it's like take it easy, take it easy.
Have
So
you had any disasters on like with your webcam during a work meeting or
what?
any contextually when you're
No,
on
no,
a live
but
video?
I
Or
do
have you seen
take
anything? Yeah,
no, I do sometimes take meetings from my bed, and I tend to wear usually like short sleeve shirts most of the time when I'm at home.
sure.
So I kind of like get self-conscious sometimes about making sure that if I'm wearing a short sleeve shirt, I should try to like just show my face instead of the
Why?
bottom. Just because I feel like the short sleeve is a little too casual, too
What? Really? You feel
for
that way?
like an online
Like for a
meeting.
work meeting? I guess it
Yeah,
depends on your work culture and your workplace. I mean, you
yeah,
could be right there. I feel like for me,
yeah.
like we have homies in tank tops, dude.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
maybe I should start
No, no,
more
you can do whatever you
normally.
want, dude.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
you got. I mean, you're a classy guy. You maintain
Yeah.
that, even though you are taking it from your bed.
Thanks. But yeah, you said you wanted to stop touching your face more, like
Dude,
having
I
your
just
hand on your
noticed. I
face
keep
more.
like rubbing my face. I kept touching it. Like, oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So that's one of the goals I want because I think it's still distracting. And again, like I said, it's very awkward to watch yourself, and it's kind of cringy. And that's just
Mm.
something I didn't like as much. And so I want to try to avoid that. We'll see how.
But then the other case would be just sort of being still and having fewer hand motions or less quirks. So
Yeah,
when you say
I
that
think
makes it a
motion
little
is
more
fine.
stale.
No, yeah, absolutely. But I think it's more like because I was like this,
Mm.
and I was talking like
Maybe
this,
that's
and it
part of
just
your
wasn't.
personality.
I think it definitely is. But
Do you do that when you talk to like other people, like in real life, like at
oh,
a
of course, yeah,
restaurant or something?
yeah,
You're just
yeah,
listening and looking to their eyes and going,
yeah, dude, yeah,
yeah. So keep doing it, man. Keep doing it.
yeah. I didn't like it though, not for the camp.
Okay, you didn't like it. I see.
No, I didn't come across too well. But I do think like moving around, even me, like right now, I'm swiveling in my chair, moving around, using your hands, being active. I think that's
Yeah.
important. Otherwise, what you said, it'd be too stale if you're just like this the whole time.
Yeah, let's have
So
our
yeah,
personalities shine through.
I agree. I shine
Yeah.
like a beautiful
This is
diamond.
this is how you are. Like I
Yeah, dude.
recognize your actions because it's you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all I am.
Did you have
I'm
other
so glad
things
you're here.
you were reflecting on yourself during
That
the
was, I think the other thing is probably just to try and speak more clearly,
mm,
less filler words. I think you do a good job of enunciating, so trying to
mm.
enunciate my words better. But
I've
that's
noticed that,
those are the big points.
dude, so
Yeah.
I don't know if have you made like recorded yourself often, like doing any videos or just like talking? Like sort of how I do video
No,
essays and stuff.
no, no,
It's a
not at
different
all.
feeling because even though I'm used to recording myself and listening to myself for my video essays like separately, when I
Mhm.
uh, like that content that I make, this is different because when I edit these podcasts and I'm listening to them over, I'm looking at myself like
Yeah.
the entire time. Whereas usually I'll just be listening to my voice, but this time I'm more looking at, yeah, like facial movements or just movements in general,
Of
postures,
course.
whatnot. So
Yeah.
it's a little different for me. But in terms of listening to myself, I've been listening to myself for 5 plus years now. So
Yeah, you're used to the cringy feeling.
yeah, I'm past that cringy feeling.
That's good.
So
Yeah.
took me 5 years. Maybe it'll take you maybe like 5 episodes. So
5 episodes.
yeah,
That's a good goal. Again, my whole thing, just to speak a little bit clearer, would be
mm,
really helpful.
yeah,
So, yeah, and it's all about improvement, right? That's why we're doing this.
yeah.
Try it out, improve.
I'll look
Yeah,
back on it eventually and then just notice how all the
exactly.
self improvement is. Because you have to look back on, when you do self reflection, you have to.
Got to.
Because
That's
otherwise,
what life's about.
yeah, like what are we doing? Water and time.
Yeah, water and time, dog.
Yeah,
It just takes a little water and a little time.
water and time, dude.
Anything that you saw? Those are, I think, a couple points of myself that I noticed. But were there any things like, especially this is your first time actually seeing yourself talk?
Yeah.
Is there anything you noticed that you want to improve on or be better at or
Something
anything
I
like
think
that?
about is like when even when I see other people's podcasts, I'm thinking about where are they looking most of the time? Are they always focused
Yeah.
on the speaker, or do they tend
Mhm.
to go around and look at other things while still listening to the
Yeah.
speaker? Because sometimes I'll be looking at your webcam on the right side. Sometimes I'll drift
Mhm.
towards mine and oh, maybe my hair is in a weird place or maybe I'm like touching it or whatever, or maybe I gaze off to like some article that we want to talk about kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I have a second monitor too, and that
Yeah.
always like going between monitors because I have you set up and myself, and I have this other monitor with some of the topics we could discuss.
Yeah, and
So I totally understand.
I usually always look at people when I talk to them when we're talking, but
Yeah.
it it feels weird always having to look at, say, like a webcam, like someone else's video feed, like in an
Hmm,
online
hmm.
setting. Because I guess
Yeah.
in an online setting, it's more, you have more of a grace window and a grace period, I guess, to just
Hmm.
start looking over.
Yeah.
And the assumption is that we're still listening and responding to each other.
Hmm, hmm.
But that's something I'm just keeping at, trying to find my style and whatever makes me
Yeah.
comfortable, but also
Yeah.
not too distracting if from
If
like a
someone's paying
viewer's
attention.
perspective, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I got you.
Yeah, my
That makes sense as something to look at. I'm gonna flip this then and ask you, what are you doing well, or what have you noticed that we do well, be
mm.
individual or us together? But when you're watching these, what do you like about it, in the sense of how we're actually talking or moving?
So we have a doc sheet that we look at for like general topics and things that we want to talk
Hmm,
about. I don't think we look at it too often during the during our recordings. And
hmm.
even though we may be, but it's never really brought up. There's no downtime of, oh wait, and I wanted to look at blah 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 blah, which I
Yeah,
think helps with the flow because it things just feel more natural to
I
me
think we do a good job of that.
as we do
Yeah, like
that.
a natural progression. Hmm.
Yeah. And
I
anything
agree.
that plays to the whole theme of water and time, the smoothness, the flowiness of that, like
Mm. Oh,
I enjoy that a lot.
beautiful.
So I think
Yeah.
that's a strength that I've been seeing and keep wanting to keep improve on.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. I do like where our conversations just naturally end up. We'll discuss things that weren't even close to this like topic list we have. We'll discuss things like in a shocking way. It's like, how did we even get here? But as you kind of go down that rabbit hole, like you bringing up like a game you're playing this weekend, it's like, oh, I've actually played that game before.
Yeah.
I don't know, little things like that.
Yeah, it is.
Cool.
I think we're still finding our style. There different
Yeah,
podcasts have different styles to them. Some of them are very focused, like Lex, I think Lex Freeman, or he does very focused questions. There are set questions that he'd like to ask.
no, I mean those are
So
interviews,
yeah,
right? Like
yeah,
that's a
I
full-on interview
guess.
where you're interviewing somebody,
Mm. Yeah, that's a good
right?
distinction. So
Yeah, I think that's a little bit different than just two dudes talking shit
two
for a
baboons,
little bit.
two
Two
baboons.
buffoons, yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Water and time. All
I'm
right.
dude. In the past week, or I guess we've been watching some Game of Thrones episodes.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. One of our buddies has been streaming it in our Discord.
yeah, and he hasn't watched it
Marathon it,
before, so
dude.
he's just been marathoning
Yeah,
it, streaming it, and we've been tagging along sometimes whenever we join the calls.
it's so
And
good.
it's been when did Game of Thrones season 8 last season air? It was 2018, I think. 2018 or
Before COVID,
2019.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, because
Yeah,
I remember actively
recent.
like finishing that show in person. And
Yeah.
so I'm curious just for some quick thoughts on some of our 2025 review of Game of Thrones now that what 6+ years have passed since the ending,
Yeah.
and just like rewatching things maybe with like a new perspective or just new things that we've noticed. So yeah, I'll start.
What? Yeah, go for it.
I still think that the writing was terrible in seasons 5 and plus due to pacing
Where,
and lack of character development. And
which one season? Like, how many seasons are there total? Sorry,
8
season
seasons
8 is the
total.
last one.
Yeah, season 8
Okay.
was the last one. That was like the culmination of
Hmm.
Danny coming to Westeros and then dealing with the White
Okay.
Walkers and then finally King's Landing and
Yeah,
such.
yeah. When is episode like when's season 5 then? Like when you say the writings are bad then, like what's happening with season 5? Just so I have like a benchmark of when this is
Yeah.
going on within the
So
series.
the Red Wedding was season 3, I think.
Yeah, you cannot be trash talking those seasons. Those
Yeah, those
early seasons
are.
are amazing.
Yeah, let me
But
just
what's like a
quickly
defining
search it
moment
up.
is that where because there was that one scene too where she's like she leaves from the Colosseum. They're having the big battle and they're trying to like in Maureen. Is it Maureen? What's
Marine.
the Marine? Yeah, like you know how they have
Yeah.
that battle, and then she flies off on her dragon, and
Yeah.
then just happens to like hang out with these Dothraki, and then she gets all this like whole new army. Like that was a little hand wavy to me. Was
Yeah,
that season 5?
I think that was season 6.
Was that
I
season 6?
think.
Yeah, because like that scene, I think at that point, that's where I was like, all right, this is really probably deviating a lot from
Yeah.
the main
Yeah,
story.
season 4 concluded with Tywin's death, I think. That was one of the big points of season
Ah,
4. So
I
Tyrion
see.
like pretty much defects from King's Landing and goes towards finding Dany. Um,
Yeah.
and then so we get some different things happening in King's Landing, like with Queen Marjorie coming into play. You have King Tommen
Yeah, I
becoming,
love Queen Marjorie.
yeah, manipulative, but
Oh, she's the
she's
best,
hot,
dude. I'll let her
so
manipulate
yeah,
me. Yeah.
exactly.
Fuck.
Um, I can't remember exactly like where the writing to me felt super off, but I think it was towards end of season 5 and on,
Mm.
where things were a little too fast, and
Yeah, the pacing changes rapidly.
because they likely
Absolutely.
had to cancel, or they likely knew that they were running out of material because George hasn't written any new books since 2011. So they were pretty much
Yeah.
running out of material and they
I
wanted
mean, how
to
many of the books
end.
were actually written? Like, because it's A Song of Ice and Fire, right? Is the actual series.
Yeah.
How many of them are written as
I
opposed
think three or
to?
four. Three or four.
So it's like I'm guessing each season was like one book roughly. So that kind of makes sense then. Is that when they start? That's when they started to deviate. They probably just got some tips from him.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
there were
I
five
agree. It seems a lot
novels.
faster. Yeah.
Yeah, five
Yeah.
novels are currently in place, and then an upcoming sixth novel for
But it's
14
been like
years. So
15 years,
yeah,
right?
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, dude, homie has to start writing. Come
Pretty
on.
much. But yeah, I think, yeah, so still terrible pacing, weird character developments. But I think I do have an appreciation for acting at the very least, because even though some of the actors, actresses were given pretty shitty material, there were still
Hmm.
moments where I felt like, wow, some of them put like all their 100% into scenes. I
Oh yeah.
think I
I mean, that was their defining moment for a lot of those actors. I feel like a lot of them that this is going to be the big thing that they like really launch them into stardom.
Yeah, and it probably meant a
Um,
lot, being on the show
absolutely.
with them being on the show. I when Daenerys when she turns mad, like all the bells and
Yeah.
stuff, and then starts burning down King's Landing and all the civilians. I remember seeing that scene for the first time, and I was like, wait, this is terrible. Like, why would she do this? She was literally wanting to just take over King's Landing, but still maintain, having civilians present. And then suddenly a bell rings, and she's like, "Oh wait, let me just burn everyone
Well,
down."
no, no. I like that point a lot. I like that because it's just like she's not perfect. Like she has that mad king blood in her, right?
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
insane. She's out here killing people, right? Because yeah, that's the whole. I think that's the whole controversy. Is like she could have. Like that's why she gets killed at the end, right? She could have just not burned everything, but she chose to. I do think that was the original storyline. I think that's what George R. R. Martin envisioned to happen. Actually, is that she
oh
goes
for
mad
sure.
towards the end, and it's
I,
just like this like whole thing about when you go for power like that, it
it
changes you.
corrupts
Like you want to become
anyone.
a ruler.
Power
Exactly,
corrupts
exactly.
everyone. So
I do think though it was way too sudden. Like to your point, it kind of came out of nowhere. I think there's like a few things where she's like a little bit corrupted. She's killing too many people, but like it's like what the fuck.
yeah,
I think it was not a good development.
yeah,
I guess.
she's pissed off that Missandei was killed in front of her,
Yeah,
like for
yeah,
seemingly
yeah,
like little to no reason. Um, but
yeah.
then, like, so what I appreciate though, like after rewatching this with our friend in the streaming chat, is that I felt like Amelia Clark, the way she
Hmm.
acted it, I have a appreciation for how she
Yeah,
acted that scene, because the way her facial features were, for uh, that she was expressing her facial features and just the slowness, the slow turns. I was like, oh, this feels more believable for some reason in
yeah. The
the big
actors were
old
amazing.
2025. So
Yeah.
yeah, eventually this was going to happen, but just like things like that, I definitely, I still appreciate production quality. Like, if we just put aside the plot and character motivations and just
Hmm.
witnessing this spectacle of a show, then yeah, I still
Yeah,
appreciate
because
it.
scenes themselves, the acting. I
Yeah,
agree.
you know. So
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah, it's just nice to. It was nice rewatching it. I wouldn't rewatch it again. Like, I wouldn't have rewatched it if our friend wasn't watching it for the first time. So it was nice
Yeah, and
to be
also like we
part
had
of
a
it.
group of homies in there constantly. I feel like it was usually at least 4 people together watching it, like
Yeah.
mics muted, just chilling. Yeah, it's fun to rewatch that stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, what do you
I
think
enjoyed it.
overall of it? Oh yeah, you enjoyed it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a great series. I still usually watch some YouTube clips every now and then. You know, some of them pop up, and then you start watching more and more, and the algorithm takes over. But it's fun to watch. I really appreciated more of like the older ones because I was watching parts of season three with them and season four and stuff like that. And like those, it's just so slow and like very careful, and everything has a reason, and it's awesome. And the pace changes a lot, but it's still, I think, overall a good series. I do think the ending was a little rushed, but like the whole, especially with the winter coming and like the
Yeah.
Night King and all that, like that was a pretty big letdown. Just how that happens and how they
No
overcome that challenge.
motivations, the biggest threat
Yeah,
to the world, and then just gets
yeah, and it's
destroyed
just
by
like in
a
a
small
few.
dagger.
Yeah, so that part was kind of sad, but I don't know. I still enjoyed
Would
it.
you
I still think it's a
recommend?
top series.
Yeah, would you recommend
Oh,
people
of
watch
course.
this? Even though we know
Of
that
course, of
the
course.
last few seasons are, pretty much
Yeah, dude,
wasted.
because it's a great. I think it's one of the best stories there are out there in like media, right? Like it's a great story. I think I love the idea too of all these different characters. Like you have so many characters and you're going in between these scenes constantly throughout the TV show. I imagine this is how the books do it too. But
Yeah.
I love that type of like style where you have all these different perspectives and they're kind of intertwined in some episodes, right? And then they go do their own thing and they come back together and it's just you keep having that experience. And so that part I really enjoy. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'd recommend it.
Yeah, having different perspectives is good for world building since this is like a
Yeah,
fantasy world where they have their own
that's a good
politics
point. Yeah, it's
and
a
their
great
own
world.
unique cultures that want to get explored. So, yeah, we
Hmm.
have to explore those different perspectives because that's like how the world moves. It's like due to everyone, not just like a single main character that makes the world
Yeah,
move. It's like because of these different factions, these different people with different motivations. That's how like the
I
world
think that's good.
changes.
I'm gonna actually. This is a good segue. Because that was an HBO production, right?
Yeah.
One of the topics we had listed down was Netflix had announced that they were going to acquire. I think it was part of Warner Bros., but the part that
Yeah.
includes HBO, right? HBO Max.
Yep.
And I think they had an $80 billion offer, and then Paramount just came in at like $100 billion with an
Yeah.
offer. We don't really know what's going to happen yet because they just announced it. Like the Warner Bros. People haven't accepted that at all. So we'll see what actually happens. But
Yeah, I
what
was
what are your thoughts on
curious
that?
though
Yeah.
because last week when Netflix Warner Bros announced that Netflix is acquiring Warner Bros, right?
Hmm.
So it I sometimes get confused because when you announce something like that, it feels like a set in stone thing for the most part, barring any like weird things that come up, right?
Yeah. Well, you need regulatory approval, right? So like
Yeah,
the
I
FTC
see.
has to approve it.
I see. I see. Yeah, so it's yeah, $83 billion, 82.7, something like that. But
Yeah.
then yeah, recently, like I think it was yesterday, right, with the Paramount announcing an
Well,
even
yeah, I was reading the
bigger
article, and I guess,
offer.
yeah, yeah, I guess like a lot of different like I think other companies gave them offers as well, but they kind of chose the Netflix one, and then Paramount came in. I think they were also included in like a bidding war with Netflix, but I
Mm,
think they just came in recently with a much higher offer, with the intention of
I
like
see.
our number is so much higher, you have to choose us, right?
Yeah,
Like
it's just interesting
that's their
because
ideal.
if the bidding war keeps happening, but then at some point people said, let's announce that it's Netflix the one that's acquiring.
I think that's what the plan was. I think that they still
Mm,
that is the plan still actually. I think Paramount just went off on their own and wanted to
mm.
announce it because they want the attention, I'm sure, and
Yeah, I was looking into
they
like
want it.
why this can happen as like a from a
Yeah.
corporation standpoint, and I think it seems like it's because you have like the managers, like the leadership, I guess, of Warner Bros. That is proposing to the shareholders that
Yeah, you still have to vote on it.
right,
Like people have to actually approve it still.
yeah, they
Yeah.
suggest to the shareholders that hey,
Yeah.
Netflix should acquire us. It'd be a good deal,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
yeah, the shareholders have to do a vote. But
Yeah.
then yeah, something else like this Paramount offer can come in that can influence the shareholders'
Yeah, that's
votes
a good point.
and not go
That's a really
through
good point.
the
They
like
might say no.
leadership managements. So it could be that the shareholders could just
Yeah.
say, "Oh, I'll just do Paramount maybe because it's
Yeah,
20
yeah.
billion more." even though
So they'll say
the
no to this Netflix
management is
one.
like, wait, no, that sounds terrible because of XYZ. Oh, because
Yeah, that's a good
Netflix is
point. I
better
mean, yeah,
for whatever reason. So
that makes
so I
sense.
think that's like interesting to me, that because I
Yeah,
always
that's
feel
only
like
part
if
of it.
you announce something as big as this, then it feels like it's going to happen. You know, like
I
comp
think that's part of why they do it too. Like, by announcing it and adding so much media, it'll make it the case that if a regulatory hurdle does happen, like if the FTC tries to block it, maybe
yeah.
there's more backlash because everyone kind of expects it to happen already,
And they've been
which just gives them more
making
momentum.
yeah, and they've been
Yeah,
making like stock decisions on Netflix or something based on the fact that
yeah,
they're acquiring Warner Bros. But then, oh wait, Paramount might, they have a counter offer, which then, oh, maybe people investing in Netflix gets pissed off because they're like, wait, what?
yeah,
It sounds like this was a set in stone thing.
yeah. We might even you and I might own Netflix. I don't know if it's in the S&P 500 if they're that
Oh,
big,
I've been
but
tracking them. They've been going down the past few days. So,
out of
so
the past few days. But are they in the S&P 500 though? Because that's like what most index, like if most retirement funds, for
I mean,
example, hold
they have
that.
to be, right? Because they're, I think Netflix is like 440 billion total market
Oh, then
value.
they probably yeah.
So they likely are. Because the S&P 500, doesn't it automatically update based on, maybe like every
It's
month?
not automatic. I think they still have like approval of like who's in it. Like I think there's still some
Oh,
manual
okay.
process, but how do I even check? Maybe it is automatic. I'm not sure.
I could say is,
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, Netflix is in there though. So yeah,
yeah,
so like the reason I'm bringing that up is I think most people, if they have a retirement fund or whatever, they own part of the S&P 500.
yeah.
There's some amount involved, so that means they own some of Netflix. So we are in that shareholder community.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
What do you think this could mean for movie theaters? Because Netflix doesn't release any of their films to movie theaters. They're Netflix
Mm-hmm.
originals. You buy
Mm-hmm.
Netflix, you subscribe to them, you watch it in your home for the most
Yeah.
part. Warner Bros owns a lot of movies like DC, uh, Harry Potter series, a lot of Lord of the Rings, a lot of known
They own
series.
Harry Potter?
Yeah, yeah. Warner
I thought
Bros
that was
was
Disney.
the producer. No, that's Warner
Oh,
Bros.
damn, that's why they're worth the billies.
Yeah,
Oh, dude, I did not know that actually. Wow.
yeah. So
I mean, that is a huge amount of money. That makes sense.
yeah, do you think like theaters might just like go even further down in terms of momentum and getting
Oh,
revenue
probably.
because of this deal? Because then
I think
it's
that's
like
already
all
been
the
happening.
movies,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think a lot of them are like direct to consumer now, though. I feel like a lot of movies release even on Disney or HBO. Like some of the movies, the big ones, they don't have a theater release, or they do, but they do that in parallel with like a streaming release.
Yeah.
I imagine over time it'll probably happen more and more. But I'm actually a big fan. I like to go to the movies. I think it's fun. I'm pretty pro movies, but I imagine their viewership has been going down.
I was shocked by some numbers that I looked up, which is about
Yeah.
like the what is this graph? It's the total box office gross amount, gross revenue
Hmm.
amount for a given year. And ever since
Oh,
1995,
cool.
from 1995 to 2019, it's been going up from $5
And
billion
then
dollars
yeah,
to peaking at $11.2 billion dollars.
and then COVID happens,
And
right?
then COVID
2020.
happened, so then we went
Yeah.
down
Okay.
to $2 billion dollars in 2020. But
Hmm.
then it's every year since then, except for 2025. So from 2020 to 2024, it's risen up. It's gone up every year. So more people go to the movies each year ever since 2020, peaking at $8.6 billion dollars. But then this year, and I guess since the year hasn't ended yet, 2024 was 8.6, and then 2025 is currently at 8.58.
Oh, dude, yeah, we have a whole month left. It's gonna be more.
We have a whole
Absolutely.
month left, but
In the holidays, yeah.
that's still a few. Yeah, I guess like a
But
few
when
20,
were the
30
metrics
million
gathered
dollars.
too? Like when was the actual reporting done? I don't think you should include 2025 at all because I feel like
Mm.
those stats take a while to pull together. Because it might only be showing you until August or until July
Wait,
even.
actually,
I don't know.
I can't read. It actually went down from 2023 to 2024. 2023 was 9 billion.
All right, yeah, it's a little stupid, but that's okay. But I guess that shows you, like what you were talking about, right? Is it sounds pretty stable that the box office numbers aren't going up.
Yeah, it hasn't caught up to 2019 at all.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
think you're spot on. That streaming services, as more big companies come out, Disney, we have HBO. What else is a big one? Peacock. You have all
and
these
Peacock,
platforms,
Apple
right?
TV is a thing. I don't know if Apple
Yeah,
TV has
yeah.
movies though, but yeah, it just seems like the numbers don't lie. It seems like theaters are likely gonna be like payphones, from back in the day, or like
Dude, that's a good comparison. Who's using a
just
payphone anymore?
just the I imagine it's just because of the inconvenience of going to the theater. It's like people would rather likely watch a full-on IMAX, experience if they could. But then, like the effort of going to the theater, the effort of maybe having to buy overpriced theater food, popcorn, soda, and then maybe if someone's talking in the theater for whatever reason during the movie and it just like
Yeah.
ruins that experience, then yeah, why
Yeah.
would you give that? Why would you choose that over the comfort of your own home and
Yeah, exactly.
watching
And
a,
doing it on
a
your
Netflix
schedule, you can
original?
pause it, go to the
Yeah,
bathroom, right?
yeah,
I'm like a very pro movie person, so I've been trying to go. I haven't gone in the past few weeks. I've been working a lot, but every Tuesday. So I quit my job in March,
yeah,
and like I've been going every Tuesday to the Regal Theater because they do half price. And then I
yeah.
don't even buy the ticket online because they charge you a $2 fee to buy it
Wow.
online. So I do it there, and it's like $7 for my movie theater ticket. And I go Tuesday usually between 11 and 1 p.m. and it's
Yeah,
dead. No one's there because everyone's in school, right? All the
yeah,
kids who usually be going are in school, or everyone's at work. And so I think that's like me. Usually there's a couple other people in the theater. Sometimes it's just me. And
yeah.
when you're in a full theater reclining watching a
Dude, it's
movie,
kind of
dude,
awesome, huh?
it's awesome. And I'm also like a member, and so I usually can get like a popcorn for I think that's like half price also. I'm spending like maybe 10 or to $15. And I get my popcorn. I go to the bodega sometimes. I'll get like a full-on sandwich
Yeah,
and like a little snack and like some seltzer water or something. I'll just bring that shit in because nobody cares. I'll
yeah,
go into the theater, watch the movie all to myself, dude. Have a little popcorn. It's awesome, and it's a great time too to disconnect and get lost in something. I think the movie experience, like you can really get lost in it. You turn your phone away. You have
yeah.
no distractions. All you have going on is this movie. And I think it's just a lot more enjoyable if it's a good movie in that environment. If the movie sucks, it's terrible.
It
Because you can't get out of it. I guess you could leave, but you
Yeah, I
can't just like zone
guess.
out on your
But then
phone
you're
for a
like,
bit.
oh wait, I already paid money for this. Might as well. Maybe
Yeah,
maybe the plot
yeah.
turns around or something.
But there, it's a really nice way just to chill out, and I've really enjoyed that a lot. I was
Hmm.
watching like a movie every week, and now it's slowed off a lot. But hopefully I'll go tomorrow. That'd be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, it
Maybe if I have time.
incentivizes you to lose yourself in the
Yeah, yeah, and also
experience.
there's, dude, I've learned like having even a few more people in the theater, it sucks because there is noise. Even them like chomping on some popcorn or drinking a
This
soda,
is the
like
worst. I hate that
it
so
does pull
much.
you away. Like it really does. So when you're just alone, oh, it's awesome on the big
I
screen.
hate that they charge overpriced popcorn soda just for people to make noise with that in the theater, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
And
it's annoying.
especially the ones I actually
Talk to it
I,
out.
I
Let it out,
actually hate
Alan.
it
Let it
when
out. Yeah,
when
what do you hate?
people like even for like comedy scenes sometimes people laugh a little too much at comedy scenes
Uh,
even though they're meant to be laughed at. So it's kind of weird because I think when I watch a movie I would like to just not have people's reactions. I would prefer just not having anyone's reactions and just
yeah,
fully taking it in
of
myself,
course.
and then
Yeah,
when
it's
the
all for
movie ends
yourself.
then let it all out. But for okay, I guess for comedy it's fine, just
Yeah.
you can laugh, do whatever.
Or even have like gory scenes or something like what? Like oh my god. Like I actually kind of like that sometimes because sometimes you get some sassy people in
It's
there
nice
and
to
they're
get some reaction
hilarious.
sometimes, but generally speaking, I would prefer if everyone just hushed and let's just
Really, dude.
enjoy the movie, you know. So,
I had like an older lady in one of my like last movie I saw, or maybe it was 2 movies ago that I was watching, and she was just like something happened. She's like, "Oh hell no!" And I just started laughing. So like
okay.
it was so funny. I was laughing my ass off.
Those
So
kinds of
sometimes I
moments
enjoy
you
it.
can't plan for, but
Yeah,
yeah, they can help enhance.
yeah, yeah.
But I guess if
But
I
I
had
get
to
what you're saying.
choose, if I had to choose between
No,
people
of
like
course.
saying something or not saying something, man, I might just say, "Hey, everyone shut up."
When the last time you've been in a theater?
I was actually last month. I saw the Chainsaw Man movie.
Oh
Very
yeah.
good movie. Like really good. I'm really happy I saw it in IMAX. It's funny. This movie was so successful. It came out in September, and
Hmm.
then it's getting a digital release tomorrow, like on Crunchyroll, on whatever
Oh
other
cool.
streaming platforms, which is like
Hmm.
pretty unheard of for like a film in general because usually it's in the theater for months before it gets a digital release.
Wait, so what? This is different because it's having such a quick digital release.
I'm not
Wait,
sure
how is
why,
this
but
different?
it was a really successful movie. The budget for the movie was around $4 million, and it's grossed more than $140 million
Yeah,
worldwide.
that's a good investment. That's
So
good. But
yeah,
doesn't that usually happen though after a movie comes out, then you see it streaming like a few months later, or is it usually
this
longer?
was 2 months after it
So
released.
that's like the surprise. Like that's something that
Yeah,
doesn't happen
it's
very
just
often.
so quick, so quick.
Is the idea because it is so successful they want to really reap the rewards, or
Yeah,
like
but
why?
I think from a business
Yeah.
point of view, it probably maybe the numbers have started slowing down to a level
So then
where
you
they
hit
feel
them again with
comfortable.
the digital. That
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah.
Especially because it's already done. Like it's already done. The movie itself. It's just a flag you flip.
It was a
It's
really
like,
good
oh,
movie, man. I don't know.
good
Have
for
you
you.
seen
Yeah, I'm
Chainsaw
glad you saw
Man?
it.
Have you seen Chainsaw Man?
No,
Yeah,
no, I'm not really interested in that anime. I like tried watching an episode, but I
yeah,
wasn't vibing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even you could even just start from this movie and and still get the gist of things. But yeah,
Did
super
you watch
good.
it in Japanese?
Yeah, Japanese with English subtitles. That's how I usually do things. I prefer. It feels more authentic to me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's one thing that's kind of funny too when you go to the theater. Because I'm so used to subtitles on movies now. So when I go to the theater and you don't have subtitles, it's funny because it's like one of the few times that happens. And so the first two movies I went to this year when I was going every week, I was like, damn, this sucks. And I got used to it again. But you have to definitely listen harder when there are no subtitles. You have to pay attention
I
more.
think every movie should have subtitles. I've
Yeah.
I've never had a feeling where I felt like a subtitle ruined a scene for me. Like never. I don't know
I've had
why,
it. Okay, yeah.
but like just because there's the small text at the bottom of the screen, I've never
Hmm.
felt like it was ever an issue that it's there.
Mm. I think it's like I kind of thought about that too, but some movies I do actually like it without subtitles just because there's no distraction. Like you can just look at the characters and their facial expressions as it happens, and
Mm.
sure if there are subtitles, like you can look at them later, right? But I think I'm just not good enough or disciplined enough, so I'm usually like reading the subtitles sometimes too, and sometimes like they get ahead of the actual dialogue, and so you kind of know what's going to happen already. So when you
Oh
lose
yeah.
it, like after not doing it for a while, it kind of made me appreciate not having them again.
You know what the most
Um,
obvious dialogue thing is that when you know something's about to
what?
happen is when you have the
Yeah,
subtitle and then
yeah,
ends with the hyphens.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so it's
yeah,
like oh hey, I'm going to hyphen hyphen. And then you know someone's
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
get cut off. Something's gonna
Yeah.
like
Yeah, but that's what I'm
shock the
saying, right? It's like
audience.
when you don't have that, because I think as people, we just naturally read first really fast because it's quick usually. But
Yeah.
when you lose that, I think you can get lost a little bit more in the
Mm,
story.
mm.
Um,
I think
yeah,
overall it's nice to have subtitles. I read
yeah, I agree.
faster than I listen. So
Yeah, but I mean, because you get all the text at once usually, like you can get it faster
well
as opposed
sometimes
to
they talk
having to
so
listen.
quiet or they talk like so fast that I'm like
You miss words,
I'm like,
right?
wait, what they just say?
Dude, that's one thing. After like I saw a couple movies without subtitles because of a theater, because I never went to the theater. I feel like COVID, I went one time since COVID, really, and
Yeah.
then I've been going a lot more this year. And you kind of relearn how to like actually listen and how to catch those words, because you kind of lose it when you have subtitles because you don't need to. Um, yeah, yeah, I gotta practice. When's the last time you saw a movie that wasn't like anime related, like in a
I
theater? I
think
guess
Oppenheimer was like the
Oppenheimer was
last
good.
big
That was a
one
good
that I
movie,
went to that I can
but
remember.
that was like 2+ years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, and also I remember where I don't think our movie had subtitles in the theater, like this
Mm-hmm.
IMAX 73 experience. Dude, I
Mm-hmm.
swear to God, I could not hear like a third of the dialogue the entire time. Cause like it
Why?
was such a grand and loud experience. And sometimes when the
Yeah,
characters were talking, I swear you could not hear what they were saying most of the
the
time.
other audio,
Yeah, because the
the
music is like
actual.
building up to like such a
Mm,
big event, and then like a lot of things were happening in the background. There's a lab happening, or things like that. Yeah, I just could not hear some of what the characters were saying.
Yeah,
So it
yeah,
kind of made me lose some of the plot,
yeah.
just
Hey,
because
good.
there
Yeah,
was
3 hours.
no, and
We
I
rewatched that
was
with
locked
subtitles.
in. I was paying
Yeah,
attention. So
yeah. It's a long movie though. I when I saw that they didn't have the reclining chairs, and it was like, oh fuck, never again. That's the last movie I saw without recliner chairs. I'm too spoiled. I
it
need it.
the theater I went to see Chainsaw Man Pacific AMC theater had really shitty
Yeah,
chairs, and
yeah,
I felt like uncomfortable half the time.
yeah. Dude,
I
no. You
was
need the
like
recliners. I need my space.
and
Yeah,
that's why people are watching movies from home, man.
dude. Yeah, you
No,
can be all
why
comfy on
go
your
to
bed, dog.
shitty seats when you can have your comfy bed or your comfy couch
Well,
and
exactly,
go from there?
exactly.
Yeah, okay, I
Yeah.
support this Netflix acquisition. Yes, let it happen. Destroy movie
Oh,
theaters.
yeah, yeah. So, what do you think? Besides killing all movie theaters because Alan hates them,
Yeah.
do you think like a lot of people I'm seeing online at least they're talking about, oh, we can't let this happen. It's a huge company absorbing another huge company. You know, we're creating a monopoly. It's going to hurt consumers. They're going to raise their prices and all of that. What do you think about that? Do we want to get into that a little bit in this podcast to discuss how we feel about this acquisition,
I hate
this
monopolies.
consolidation?
No, I
You hate
100 I hate
monopolies.
monopolies. Yeah. Like
Why?
it like in principle because we live in a
Because
world
yeah,
where the best interest of the people doesn't matter as much compared to a profit.
yeah,
Because like a monopoly to me would be good if people's interests were actually favored, but
yeah,
because we're profit driven more, then
yeah,
when you have a monopoly, like you can get away with treating people poorly because people have no other alternative.
yeah.
So
Gouging
by
prices.
principle, I don't like monopolies.
I would say like there are. I think that's like definitely the reality of it, right? When somebody becomes a monopoly, they can charge a lot more, and it can hurt consumers. But I would say there have been cases where there are beneficial ones, right? Where you be like it's just someone's kind of ahead of the time, and they are a monopoly, but it's just because they were first. And I think that a good example in this case is Netflix in terms of streaming.
Mm.
Back in the day, when Netflix was the first streaming
That
option,
was
it
like
was the
two ninety
best.
nine a month or something.
It was so cheap. No one else was streaming. They had the licensing for all these other films. It was amazing,
No
and
ads.
they were by definition a monopoly, right?
Yeah.
But it was
Yeah.
awesome. So
Yeah.
I do think like in general in the U.S. like when there's a monopoly, it's terrible and it does hurt consumers. But there are cases. I think that's when it can actually be challenged as being a monopoly, not just a monopoly, but a monopoly that's actively harming consumers.
Mm.
I think in some cases you can be a monopoly and not harm consumers, and the OG Netflix kind of was that. Um,
This is a
that's my thought on
common thing,
monopolies.
right? With
Yeah,
there's like the enshittification word where
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
when a
Where over
company
time,
starts up, they have a good idea because they'll find a niche, and
yeah,
in order to grow the audience, the product has to be good because no one
yeah,
else would use the product. But then by the
yeah,
point where companies like Netflix or Lyft, Uber, once they get a good audience, like a loyal audience, then at that point, if they're a monopoly, I would think that because they want more profits, that
yeah.
you know
They're gonna drive the price. Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
would drive
I
prices up
agree.
or just make the product worse for more money.
Yeah, I think you see that also with like venture capital backing because all these companies are. They go for massive growth. I think Facebook kind of led this, where all they cared about was growth initially. They're burning money to get it, right? Uber was offering a lot cheaper prices, undercutting taxis, burning so much money. And once you get that like an initial consumer base, then you up the price and you start becoming profitable, which I think Uber just was recently a few years ago, even though it's been around for so long. And that's where it gets shitty.
Yeah,
But
I
we
mean,
can focus back. Yeah,
yeah, I don't like monopolies. I think that you could see some benefits. Like, so let's say Netflix gets, the full rights to Warner Bros. Right? I can see there being some benefits that come up.
well, is
Whatever
that a
you.
monopoly? Yeah, I would even like go back, like, because we talk about monopolies a little bit, but like, because I would say it's not a monopoly at all. I think the people online saying that is, they're just, they don't know what they're
Mm,
talking about because there's so many streaming platforms, right? Disney, HBO, like, I guess HBO is being acquired out here,
yeah,
Crunchyroll, like, there are a bunch of them.
yeah. I
Like, I
think
don't,
the
like, there's
question
big players,
is like,
but
does this go towards a monopoly? Like, would
I
you
would
rather this
say
happen or would you rather it not happen? Like,
As an
if you were
individual,
worried about monopolism.
if I was worried about monopolies being created,
Yeah.
um, I think it is a little bit interesting because they are acquiring like when you acquire a competitor, it can like you are literally taking other like I guess you're giving consumers less choices, right? Which is bad generally for consumers. I'm trying to think of a case when somebody bought competition and it was a good thing.
There are
Maybe in
probably good
cases of
examples of
airlines
that.
sometimes, but maybe there are some examples you can think of.
Yeah.
But
Although I guess it is difficult
yeah,
because while I don't like if there was like a single entity for streaming services, like a clear monopoly, while I wouldn't like that, I also don't like the idea of having 100 different streaming services.
yeah. But that's like the most competition, right? Like so,
So,
I think it's more rare. I don't think it's like oh I'm so anti. I think it really is a balance and it's hard. And like I always point, dude, Netflix when it was a monopoly back in the day, only streaming service, best. Like I was very pro Netflix monopoly back in the day, right?
yeah, I guess it's difficult. When you have so many people, can you have like a set number of services that can provide that makes everyone happy? And
Yeah,
it's the answer is likely
yeah.
unlikely.
I think a big one too that we can discuss as kids, and this is kind of about monopolies, and like we're really kind of going off the deep end here, but I think about this a lot whenever I hear the terms monopoly, is the PlayStation versus Xbox debacle when we were kids. Because honestly, I kind of wish there was only one, because then I could play online with all of my friends, right?
Oh my
But
gosh.
I remember I
Oh
had a
my
PlayStation, and
gosh.
most of my friends had Xboxes, and then I switched
Yeah.
over to Xbox at some point.
Yeah.
But like, I think if there was just one, it would have been nicer for me, because then I could have interacted with everybody. Um,
Yeah.
so like that's like a whole thing too. Is you had all these gaming consoles, right? And that like they weren't monopolies, but I think it might have been a little bit nicer
I
personally as a
guess.
kid. Like that's what I'm trying to say.
No,
It's
I
like not
feel
always.
you.
It's not clear, right? Like sometimes it
I
is beneficial to have everybody on one platform because it helps.
I feel you on that. I
Yeah.
I guess yeah, it's oh man, I also had some PlayStation buddies, but
Yeah.
and I wish I had a PlayStation, but I didn't want to cough up $350 as a teenager
Exactly.
to
But
get
see,
one.
because you had an Xbox, right?
Yeah, because I had an Xbox. So,
Yeah.
but I think by principle, I don't like
Hmm.
monopolies. Just based on
Yeah, I think it
history.
just
Just based
depends.
on history. People,
I think if it's actively harming consumers, it's not good, and that's hopefully why you have regulators. But I think like if somebody's a monopoly, it's not always a bad thing. I think in some cases it can help people if they're not gouging
yeah,
customers and so on.
yeah. An
So
example is Steam.
yeah,
Yeah, Steam
Steam is a great
for
example. That's a
games.
great
Yeah,
example.
they're
That's a
like
great example,
the
right?
monopoly for video games,
But
and
they're not hurt. Yeah,
I have no issues with Steam.
that's a really good example. Yeah, because I've tried using like the Origin client
Oh,
before,
I hate
and
Origin.
like
Oh my
they're
god.
terrible. Like no one's been good enough, and it's not
Because they
because
can't
like
match Steam because
exactly, and like
they're not good enough.
yeah.
It's,
And so I would say that is actually a great way as a monopoly. That's awesome.
yeah, so if
Like Steam is a great
yeah, they're
example.
not good
So
enough, get
that's
off
why
the playing field.
good. Because I didn't want to challenge because you were like I hate monopolies. I'm like I want to challenge that idea a little bit because
Yeah,
I
by
think we have some
principle.
examples.
By
Yeah,
principle.
because I think when we say that we associate it with customers being treated like shit because that happens so much. Think of all like the internet companies, right? Like they're purposely not impeding on each other, so we only have one or two options, so they can jack up prices, and it makes no sense because other countries, internet's so much more affordable. They get huge government contracts, and they never actually provide what they say they would. I'm rambling about it. Fuck AT&T, but then you look at Steam,
Not
and it's like,
sponsored
you
by
know
me.
what? One platform's fine. So
Why does
yeah.
the consumer use the same product every year, every month? Like, oh, I just want to watch this movie every month. But then my subscription increases by $2 every year, even though I'm doing the exact same thing. Like just
I mean, I think the subscriptions have. I mean, just inflation, right? Like it makes sense that subscriptions increase, but maybe
oh
$2 a month is too much. It should be like smaller.
yeah, it's one
But you
shoe
can't
does
expect
not fit
prices to be the
all.
same. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
So
had a funny one. Did we talk about this on this podcast at all when we were talking about $60 video games back in the day and
no,
what that'd be
we
worth
haven't talked
now?
about the but yeah, they're 70, 80
Because
dollars now.
I want to get into. I'm gonna pull an inflation calculator up because I think this is really
Yeah.
funny. I had friends so pissed off that Nintendo changed their Steam or their Switch 2 games to being, I think, $80
Yeah,
instead of
from 70
60.
to 80. No, from 70 to 80.
Yeah, so yeah. So when we were, how old were we when Call of Duty? Was it like 2013? When did Modern Warfare 2 or Modern Warfare 3 come out?
2009, that was when we were 14.
2009, Jesus. And the games were still $60 back then, right?
They're still $60. I've never
So,
seen a game less than $60.
but so no, okay. If a game was $60 back in 2009, I'm
Yeah.
gonna ask you, inflation adjusted, what would that be worth today? I just put in a calculator.
Probably
What do
like
you think that'd be
a
worth?
hundred. Maybe like
Really? Yeah,
90. Yeah, 90. I think it'd be like $90.
$92. Spot
$92.
on. But I like I hear about that and I'm like I think games and it's a little bit different now because now games have like they're all subscription model based, right? Or they're about in-game currency and in-game purchases. So the price tag isn't actually what you're paying.
Yeah.
But yeah, games $90 is what it would be. So I'm actually chill with the $80 price tags on some Nintendo games, but Nintendo games also used to be cheaper back in the day
If we've accepted
compared to
that a candy bar
others.
costs $2 now, whereas it cost 25 cents back in like 20 years ago, then
Sure.
yeah, we could accept games being a bit more pricier.
Yeah.
But
I just think this is just like more topics about people saying like I think if it's like there's a little more thought involved usually for these things.
I think
Like games
my
getting too
initial
expensive.
reaction when I bought a Switch 2 game or bought an Xbox One game being
Hmm.
$70 or $80, I'm like, wait, why? Why is it? Because it's always been $60. Because even though other goods and prices have changed, games have always been consistently
I
$60.
wonder why do you think that is?
Why games in particular
Yeah,
are?
I wonder why. Could it maybe because the overhead to produce them? I mean, no, salaries probably went up, so you probably have to pay more to make the games.
I
I don't
think
know. It was just so profitable already. Like gaming is so big.
no, gaming got big and then prices increased.
You think so?
Right? Gaming wasn't like as
Maybe.
big as it is. Like it blew up in COVID 2020. Like blew
Yeah.
up,
So
blew up.
maybe they saw huge growth from that, and they want to maintain that growth. And so the only way to grow, profit wise, is to increase game prices because the actual gaming user base is not increasing as much. So instead of scaling like horizontally, they're scaling like vertically now in
I could
pricing.
see that.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's why.
But I
How are
mean,
we doing on time now, Alan? Sorry,
I
we've
mean,
been rambling for a
we're
little bit.
like probably like 50 minutes an hour in.
Are we 15 minutes? Dude, sorry, we're going over again.
Yeah. No, I
Damn. I
mean,
just want to do a little
it's
check
fine.
on that because I just looked at the clock. I'm like, oh, we've
Yeah.
been going for a
Yeah,
while.
we've been going for a while, but no, I mean, I did want to talk about some other things. Like you actually put a topic that I was surprised you put, which is about WWE and
Oh yeah, dude. Because I
John
wanted to
Cena
ask.
and The
I think I saw
Rock.
something about The Rock.
Yeah,
I know you're a WWE person, so I was like, you just want
and
to
I
give
would
us a
love
little
to yap
rundown.
about WWE and like professional
Hell
wrestling
yeah.
in general because I don't really have anyone else to talk to about
Yeah.
professional
That's why I put it
wrestling.
on there. I was like, other people,
And
they
of
have a
course, I think
huge
it's fitting because
audience.
professional wrestling is all about storytelling. So
Hell yeah.
I actually think next week would be a good time to talk about it because
Let's do it.
this upcoming Saturday is John Cena's last ever match, his
Oh
retirement
yeah.
match.
Oh
And yeah, so this was
yeah.
his retirement year. And he's the GOAT, like legit the GOAT. So let's see what
Yeah. Like
happens on
undisputed.
Saturday. Yeah, no, just like
Does anyone challenge that conception that John Cena is the GOAT in WWE? Like,
in
does
modern
anybody?
times, no. No, like
No,
people
it's
know
like a
like
well-established
he's
thing.
been the dominant like the guy for 20 plus years and the guy
And
is
yeah,
hanging up his boots.
and when you say he's the GOAT, what does that mean? Like his wrestling career, he hasn't lost. Just in terms of like the fan base, like what does it mean to be successful in
In
that in
terms
that
of like
industry?
who people talk about, who sells tickets, who fills the
Hmm.
arenas, for
Yeah,
the wrestling events. So it's always a mix of like your in-ring technique, your storytelling, your promos, your
yeah,
merchandise, how profitable you can
yeah.
be from that point of view. But
Hmm.
like in terms of that, like John Cena's been the GOAT. Like
Yeah.
like his overall package is like undisputably like the most popular, the most talked about.
Yeah, okay, then how about I'll do a little bit of research too, because how about we get into like a good WWE episode next week? We can talk about it
Why
more.
don't we? Yeah, maybe
I'll
you and
look
I
up some
can
stuff.
watch the last match this Saturday and just see what that's like.
Yeah,
See, yeah,
check it
see what
out.
it's like when you And you see, maybe it's
Perfect.
your first time seeing John Cena wrestle, but it'll be his last ever
I've never,
match.
yeah, I've never watched. I think when I was a kid, I watched it sometimes on like Fridays or whatever day it was on
Yeah,
as a kid growing up. But I never really watched any of the wrestling stuff. Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Yeah. Cool.
well, we have something to look forward to for episode 4
Yeah.
next
Yeah. Yeah.
week.
Perfect.
So
Cool.
yeah. Well, everyone, thank you for listening to this episode of
Yeah.
Water and Time. This has been episode 3. I'm
Yeah. Keep it flowing.
Yeah,
I'll
keep
see you
things
later.
flowing, keep things hydrated. I've been your
Oh,
co-host
yeah.
Alan, and
Yeah. I'm Will. And
yeah,
we'll see you next week.
we'll see y'all next week. Cool.
Bye.
Take care.